The time has come to unhide the truth. This is Skull Babylon, and you're about to listen to another consciousness-shifting episode of Paradigm Shift Radio. On this episode, we started off by having on a couple of familiar guests, Jay and Charles Gilchrist, and our new friend Jamison onto the show to build up more hype for the upcoming 3 Days of Light Festival happening November 2nd to 4th. Visit 3dlgathering.com. PSR will be broadcasting live from 3DL on November 3rd, and I myself will be a part of the live video coverage happening over the full 3 days of the event. From there, we got our lovely co-host Jen back onto the show as we got into a personal favorite topic of mine relating to quasi-dimensional entities. The idea that this dimension we are so familiar with is not all there is, and that we as physical humans are not all there are. There's so much to learn, so much to know, and so much to remember. But that's what keeps us coming back, so keep tuning in to Paradigm Shift Radio, join us on Facebook, and enjoy the show.
With every choice, we birth a new reality. This is Skull Babylon, and let me make sure my mic is not making any weird noises, and you are listening to Paradigm Shift Radio. It is, again, another Psychic Saturday, and you are tuned in for another conscious expanding episode. It is what I like to think of what Paradigm Shift Radio as being. It is a platform for not only me to get a chance to connect with all the wonderful people out there in Internet Radio land, but also for you guys, the community, to be able to use Paradigm Shift Radio as a platform to express some of the ideas that we don't usually get a chance to talk about in regular public spheres. But you know what? And I sort of saw this on the horizon, and a lot of people saw this too, but this type of conversation that we're going to be having here tonight is becoming more common, which is wonderful to see. You know, like back in the day, this type of stuff, like you wouldn't even bring it up at the water cooler. Like it just wasn't, you know, if you had a story about Sasquatch or something like that, like who do you talk about? But like now, thanks to the internet and thanks to Paradigm Shift Radio, you do have someone to talk to about it. So thank you again for tuning in, and just do a quick shout out to everyone in the chat. And as I'm giving the shout out, tell me guys, is my microphone okay? So shout out to 34 people in the chat, including a bunch of guests: Bull City, Deadly 8, Dude 9797, Explosion in the Sky, as well as blah blah blah, Hands of Wonder, In Lakesh Alkin, Lucid Charm, and yeah, so that's wicked to see that we got so many people here tuning in, and I know a bunch of you are going to be linking in through this through Spirit Science, and if you saw Spirit Science on Facebook, then you would have seen the post that I put up not too long ago in which I talked about what we're going to be talking about on the show tonight. I was mentioning the fact that I'm going to be traveling to Camp Rockmount near North Carolina, or in North Carolina, near Asheville, rather, and that's for the 3 Days of Light Gathering, which is happening November 2nd and 4th. So coming up this next weekend, and in the meantime, I'll be traveling there. So we're going to be having Scott Love as well as Jay Gabriel on the show tonight to talk a bit about 3 Days of Light. They'll be on soon, and then from there, we're just going to see where the show goes. But I do have the intention of talking about some pretty interesting stuff in terms of quasi-dimensional entities. Is the topic that I'm going to be taking things in, so to speak. But along with Jay and Gabriel, there will be a couple other people who will be joining us briefly. But that's what we got up on the horizon, guys. And let me just do a couple technical things, because if I had a co-host at the moment, I would be throwing it over to them. And that co-host potentially is still Jen. I'm just not sure. Yeah, she would have messaged me if she's around. So Jen's not around right now, guys, but I'm holding it up, doing fine. And yeah, let me just think what I need to go over for you guys. So just some of the basics, Paradigm Shift Radio, for those of you who may be brand new. Paradigm Shift Radio is, like I said, it's a platform where myself and you get to talk about all the interesting things going on in our lives and our observations and the different pieces of the puzzle that we all have to share. And as well as that, Paradigm Shift is this idea, this collective of global communities, this global network of communities throughout the world of people coming together and creating community within their community so that they can start having like this style of energy / conversation to help empower each other and really just start getting things shifting in terms of like positive direction and more open-mindedness. So, I mean, again, if those of you who are familiar with spirit science, then you want to be able to talk to other people about it. So, by creating a community such as a Paradigm Shift community, because again, I'm from Paradigm Shift London, Ontario, and if you go to paradigmshiftcentral.com, you can see a directory. So there's a whole bunch, and there's new ones every week. And a shout out to the latest one, which is actually in North Carolina. As far as I can, I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that. It is in North Carolina, and that was just started up, but they don't have a Facebook page up yet, but there will be one going up eventually on the facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Central website, so you can check that out, as well as paradigmshiftcentral.com and facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Radio, and as well as feel free to add me at facebook.com/SkullBabylon, because not everyone knows me, that's cool, but just to fill you guys in terms of like what I'm doing and what you can look forward to. I consider myself a journalist. I sort of took that role on myself. I went to school for television broadcasting and everything, graduated from that a few years ago, and basically I'm wanting to use my skill sets to be able to help in this shifting consciousness thing. So Paradigm Shift Central was something that I am happy to say that I helped set the foundation for, as well as a huge amount of other people who I've met along the way who have helped in creating that foundation. And there's so many more people that we're going to be meeting, and there's so many more Paradigm Shift communities which are going to be popping up in the future. So if you haven't done that yet, I encourage you to start up your own Paradigm Shift community. It's pretty easy to do so. Go to the facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Central. There's some tips and tricks there, and that's some of the obvious notes that I have for you. And if you haven't yet, feel free to sub my Facebook channel or my YouTube channel rather. I hope you guys don't mind me plugging this, because more people find out about the work I'm doing, more people find out about the consciousness shifting stuff that is really happening, and they find out about spirit science they don't already know about them already, and it helps link everything in. So if you can get the work that I'm doing out there, then that's going to just like help the network grow, and it's going to help interconnect everyone and really start growing this grid that we have in terms of like, ideas and potential to shift reality. So now just give me a second to double check all my people in my queue. Yeah, okay, things are good. We are in good shape as it is. So again, sub my YouTube channel, youtube.com/SkullBabylon. Check out a bunch of journalism stuff that I've already got up there. Feel free to, there's a bunch of videos. Seriously, go ahead, check them out. And that'll just give you an idea of who I am and what you can expect in terms of the coverage that we're going to be having over the next few days, especially at 3 Days of Light, which I am so excited for. And I'm just making sure that we don't have anything that I need to talk about specifically right away. But I think, and I know they're ready, so if Jay and Scott are ready, I think I may just be bringing them onto the show right about now, because it is 11:11 on my clock, and I've said all I need to. So just to keep things moving, because time is of the essence. Like that's a good thing to know. So time is of the essence. So with that said, Jay and Scott, I'm going to bring you guys on now, and then we're going to take the conversation from there. Actually, hold on. Let me just. Hold on. I am not sure which one of these numbers is Scott's. That's not too good. That's not too good on my part. Scott, if you can message me in Facebook. But you're not on Facebook. Because I know his cell phone number and I'm not seeing it right now. All right. Okay, hold on. Jay, I'm going to bring you on anyways, and I'm going to just get you to talk a little bit about what's going to be happening at 3DL while I go into the listening section with some of these numbers who I'm not too sure about, to see if one of them is Scott, and if I find him, I'm going to bring him back on the air. So with that said, Jay, I'm going to bring you on, and we'll just sort of, you're going to be my wingman for a bit. So, all right. Jay, you can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. How are you doing, Brendan?
Good, man. Good. All right. Yeah, you obviously just heard what I just said. So while I go see if Scott is one of these people who we have in our queue, please tell the people what they can expect in terms of the live coverage that I myself will be helping direct, and you as well are going to be really collaborating on to give the people the show that they want to see, so to speak. So are you good with that? Can I leave you for a minute at the very most?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to thank everybody who's tuning in tonight, and just kind of give you up to date Brendan was gracious enough to ask us back on his program tonight again, and we're getting very close to the 3DL gathering now, and it's getting really exciting. There's some great energies going on, and Scott Love has done an incredible job in bringing together some amazing talent who will be out there doing musical contributions, workshops, and what have you going out there. And I am the only. We will be broadcasting the 3DL live for 3 days straight. So we'll be doing a lot of interviewing and showing what's going on. So all the people around the world who have not been able to make it to the 3DL in person, we will be bringing as much of it as we can to all of you globally, and you'll be able to tune into that at our Big C TV station, which is at www.livestream.com/Big C TV2, and we will also be live on Facebook. So we're really, really happy that we've been able to develop a technology that will allow all of you to tune into us on Facebook, and that if you guys can put the actual Facebook link up there, I think I can do it real quick here for us. Give me 1 second, I'll put that up, and we will be live on Facebook as well for 3 days. So we're looking forward to all of you being able to tune in and talk to us on Facebook and chat with us and just kind of show you everything that's going on there at the 3DL. While we're there, let me post this up real quick on the link and see if we can.
Back. I'm flying back in. So yeah.
Okay, great. So I just put up the Facebook link for the broadcasting from Big C TV. Too, we are actually putting together. Brendan and I had a really great conversation earlier today regarding trying to really take advantage of how we can actually cover as much of the activity out there as we can. So we will actually probably be developing the additional channel. So there'll be two channels, one BigCTV.com and the other one BigCTV2.com. So we'll be posting up that information on the 3DL gathering.com site as well as Paradigm Shift site, and you'll be able to see it on Charles Gilchrist site and Facebook everywhere, as well as Spirit Science site, and you're pretty much doing a lot of the marketing on the Facebook area of that, aren't you, Brendan?
We'll be managing that. That's right. Yeah, we'll be making sure that any of you who are primarily through the Spirit Science Network, meaning the Facebook page, you'll see the links go up through there. So just keep an eye open for them. And then again, once they're up, we just ask you guys to share them because that's what we want to do. At this point, this is about unhiding the truth. I think that's what this whole 3DL thing is about. This event taking place up in the mountains isn't supposed to be hidden. We want to share it with the world because there's so many people who want to be at this 3DL event, but obviously, due to circumstances, they can't. But thanks to technology, myself and Jay are going to be helping and bringing you some of the live coverage of it to actually, bring you closer to that experience. And then we'll be putting up videos and everything. Really, this is going to be such an exciting event. There's going to be footage of me getting to meet Jordan and Atlantis King and Nathaniel and all of my other buddies for the first time in this physical dimension, so to speak, and that's going to be really cool. So I can't promise you exactly what's going to happen, but the unknown is the exciting part about this whole journey. So, and I don't see Scott around right now, but I'm just thinking, Jay, we know Scott well enough. What are some points that you think he would have liked to have had brought up, so to speak? And then we'll just make sure
I think that Scott would like to convey to everybody that, when he conveyed to me, we have conversations quite often, and he had conveyed to me when he first came up with the concept that he was just trying to create something where he could create what he refers to as a co-creation. And that would allow the expression of numerous individuals to contribute and kind of create a life of its own. And that is exactly what's happened for him. It's been an amazing thing for him. I know he continues to be getting additional help from all kinds of sources that have really created an incredible co-creation that is generating an enormous amount of energy. And so we're rolling into this final week here before the 3DL even starts, and I think it's gone beyond his own expectations. Brendan, and everybody out there has just been tremendous in contributing and trying to help in every way that they can. So I think that the biggest thing he wants to tell everybody is that this is an event of true co-creation. So everybody that's going to be there will play a part, whether you're a person visiting, whether you're a artist who is playing musically there, whether you're a presenter, whether you're running a workshop or you're doing yoga or anything there. It's just truly an environment where everyone has contributed.
Yeah, and I think another thing, even because I'm sure there are some people who are listening to the show who will be attending as well. Like, me doing the media coverage doesn't mean I have to be the only one, and I'm seeing some talk about this in the live chat right now. Other people who are going to be going surely will be posting their own pictures as well as their own videos potentially. So what we may be doing, and I'm going to have to actually run this past Jordan because this is a fairly fresh idea, but for those of you who've been listening in the past, you've kind of seen similar projects that I've done with the Once in a Full Blue Moon project as well as the Plant a Seed project. You can go to the links off those through Paradigm Shift Central. Just check out that .com, and you'll find the links for that. But my point is, I'm going to talk to Jordan. We're probably going to make an event page specifically for people to sort of be able to get consistent links about 3DL through this event page without having to spam the Spirit Science main page, so to speak. So people who are at the event, once we get that event set up, which I hopefully should go without a hitch, feel free to post your photos and your videos on that one event page, and then that will just sort of help keep everything in one place and help keep a nice big data log of this shared adventure that we're going through. And I know, again, sort of mentioning what would Scott like us to mention about the 3DL thing. One of the things that I know he would have liked to have mentioned, and I touched upon this, is this idea that this is really like a family reunion in so many ways, and I think that's the really exciting part about this is that he's sort of saying this, he's saying I keep meeting all these people and they all just they already seem so familiar, and we get that throughout sort of our lives where we'll have those friends that we meet and we're just wow, we've only known each other for a day, but it feels like we've known each other forever, sort of thing, right? So I think there's going to be a lot of that in a very real way for myself as well as other people who will be at the 3DL event. So definitely exciting stuff, and you can look forward to the coverage of that through Big C TV. So Big C TV 2. Technically, so livestream.com/BigCTV2, and the links for that will be in the show notes as well as everywhere else they need to be. So just check the website and you guys won't miss it without a doubt. And Jay, just to keep things moving along, would you like to bring on our other guests at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to do that. I've been fortunate enough to be working with the keynote speaker of the event, who is Charles Gilchrist, and Charles has devoted his life in many directions, and over the past 40 years, his research and education into sacred geometry has brought him to an amazing area, and he is the keynote speaker and will be presenting a sacred geometry workshop on Saturday, starting at 1 o'clock. It's a 6-hour workshop, in-depth workshop with a half-hour intermission in between the middle, and then on Sunday, he is doing a mandala hands-on workshop that's teaching people how to actually do what he refers to as open-eyed meditation. The process of painting mandalas is actually a form of meditation, and I think that Charles is here with us right now. So I'd love to bring Charles on right now and give him an opportunity to just kind of talk about what he's going to be doing there on the keynote speaking on Friday night with special guest Julian Forrest. And then talk about his workshops. Are you there, Charles?
I'm bringing him on right now. So I'm going to bring on Charles, and then I know. Hello, Charles.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, there we go. So let me just say, for those of you who may be tuning in, Charles, as well as Jay, have been a guest on our show in the past. So if you haven't already, feel free to check out the past episodes of Paradigm Shift Radio, and in particular, the episode that we had with Charles. And that was episode 16. So you can find those through ParadigmShiftCentral.com/PSR. So, but yes, Charles, it is wonderful to hear from you again. So.
Yeah, it's really fun. I wasn't expecting this. I just found out about this show a few hours ago, and I was going, wow, that's going to be fun, because I really had a lot of fun the first time I was on the show. It was great.
Awesome. So just in terms of like explaining to the people what they can expect at the upcoming 3 Days of Light event, what would you like to share with them?
Well, I can feel the energy building. In fact, when I first found the happening website, the 3 Days of Light happening or gathering website, I had an intuitive sense that it was something really interesting, and I contacted Gabriel, who's my friend and partner, and he researched the whole thing, and he thought, wow, this really is something special, and we got involved, and it's been like an amazing thing. I think there's something really seriously important happening here. It's like a tribal. It's more than family. It's more of a tribal energy, I feel. I believe the whole holistic community is interested in this whole thing, because the entire holistic community is waking up to these ideas about oneness, you know? And that's the thing that links us, and that's what this whole thing is about. It's about this amazing gathering of people of like mind, you know, to celebrate, you know, and to unite our energies.
Yeah.
And compound our energies, you know.
Yeah.
Charles. Charles,
sorry, I was just going to say, Jay.
Can you tell everyone
Go ahead.
What you're going to actually be doing on Friday, and then subsequently on Saturday, and then starting up the weekend on Sunday, please?
I will, absolutely. On Friday, I'm going to start speaking about 7 o'clock, I believe. Is that correct, Gabriel?
That's correct.
And I'll be speaking for a couple hours probably, and we're going to be talking about why people should actually get involved with sacred geometry. It seems like a pretty unusual thing, but it's really, really applicable to anybody who's interested in the deeper questions, you know, the seekers, I like to call them. In fact, I think this whole thing is going to be loaded with seekers, and those kind of people are the ones that really want to hear about sacred geometry. But the really interesting thing, one of the really, really interesting things that's going to happen this particular night, on Friday night, is I'm going to have this amazing musician playing with me. We are going to create this ambiance, this kind of sound ambiance. And his name is Julian Forrest, and he is an extraordinary musician, and he sees geometry when he's playing his music. He thinks geometrically, and all of his music is sublime. It's incredibly beautiful and moves me, and I can completely relate to it, and I can relate to his philosophy. So he's the perfect kind of a person to synergize with, and we are doing this collaborative experiment adventure with music accompanying my little discourse. So that's going to be on Friday night. That should be really fun. And then on Saturday, I believe that starts at 11 o'clock, doesn't it, Gabriel?
No, it actually starts at 1 o'clock and
1 o'clock.
7:30 p.m.
Yeah, and these will be These will be live broadcasts as well. So everyone listening to this, remember that this is what you'll actually be able to like tune in and watch when this is happening. Right. When we're doing the broadcast. So anybody that signs up ahead of time, that registers ahead of time, is going to get a PDF download that they can print out and bring to the workshop, their own personal copy, because you're going to need this workbook, because the workbook has about 50 pages in it, all very detailed graphics, which keeps us all on the same page. I've been doing these workshops for over 10 years, and I've developed it over a long period of time. This workbook is the best it's been since I began it, and it's a really important part of the whole thing.
And I just posted up the link to the pre-registration for everybody there to the Charles Gilchrist Sacred Geometry Workshop on Saturday, and then on Sunday, the Mandala Workshop. Both of those can be pre-registered into with the link that I just posted.
And that'll be in the show notes as well. So, yeah.
Right.
And then so there's something else on Sunday.
Right. And so one of the things I talk about all the time is that the very best way you can learn about sacred geometry is actually put your hands on it.
Right.
To actually start playing with it and touching it and coloring it and experimenting with it and hanging out with it, because it definitely is a visual equivalent of mantra. When you're hanging out with sacred geometric icons, it opens up very deep meditative potentials, and it's really a powerful thing. So that's what we're going to be doing Sunday. Is we're going to be making mandalas together. And we're going to supply everybody there with as many templates as they want, and they can color 100 if they can do it. So that's what that's going to be about. So we're going to talk about the processes of entering into open-eyed meditation and through mandala making, and it should be like great fun. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and one other thing I'd like to say that during on Sunday, the mandala workshop, we will be running a drawing during the course of the 3DL for anyone who shows up at the 3DL wearing one of Charles Gilchrist's designer tees. They will automatically be put into a drawing to win one of Charles's original signed prints for coming to the 3DL with one of Charles's designer tees. I just put up the link to his designer tee line, which is gilchristcollection.com. So we encourage anybody to go there and visit, check out the designer tees that we put together for Charles. And if you end up purchasing one of those and coming to the 3DL wearing it, you got a great chance to win an incredible print, original print of Charles.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Let me say something just a little bit about the T-shirt idea. Like, one of the really major things that we're trying to do is we're trying to spread this energy, the word about sacred geometry, how significant it is, how important it is in this whole process of bridging this paradigm that we're all in the middle of. And sacred geometry is a tremendous tool for that. And so we're trying to spread this word. I'm totally dedicated to it completely. And we decided to create T-shirts with sacred geometric related designs in order to put those designs out on the street. And we think if people were wearing them, they would be noticed, and people would ask questions, and we'd get the dialogue happening. So we're thinking of these T-shirts as like a street team, like sacred geometry street team, that's the idea.
I think that's a really cool idea, and I just like that goes back to me even just like seeing the significance in utilizing things like buttons and stuff in the you've seen in the past. Like there's so much potential behind just like putting a symbol in front of someone's face, and then even if it's like subconscious, they'll see it and they'll just be like, like, I find that interesting. Like, why am I so interested in that or something, right? Like, the sacred geometry aspect, like, naturally pulls us in. Like, as consciousness, we recognize it. So when you see the flower of life in front of you, you're like, whoa. Like, even if someone's never heard of sacred geometry, they're going to be interested in that. Like, there's a pretty good chance that they will be. And then, so if you have a T-shirt like this, it starts up this conversation, and then you can start getting into it with them. So I think T-shirts are an awesome idea. And I think there's a lot of potential.
That was a really cool idea.
Yeah, the other thing that I encourage everybody to do, regardless, is to visit the gilchristcollection.com site, because this particular site, Charles and I spent an incredible amount of time creating this site because Charles is an incredible storyteller. And this site we intentionally built to be able to give an experience, the Gilchrist experience, because Charles actually does a lot of voiceover on this site and explains some of the concepts behind these designs that you'll see there. So we encourage everybody to go to the site and go through what I refer to as the Gilchrist experience. It's pretty amazing.
Right on, right on. And I think in the future we'll have to just sort of plant this seed idea. I think people can say this, it'll happen in some way or another, but paradigm shift T-shirts. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. How about it?
The website.
No
right
question about it. So,
yeah.
leading into the next part, Brendan, with the other guests that we have here tonight, I'd like to introduce and tell everybody that Charles is an incredible individual, and he does so much all the time. There's so many people that reach out to Charles and request certain things of him. And we recently had a really talented author who is also a big advocate of all these areas of the architecture of the universe and so forth. And he's a great practitioner himself of yoga and everything else. His name is Jamison Shults. And he recently got a book deal and for his first book called Stellar Resolve, and he reached out to Charles because he was very interested in seeing if Charles would be gracious enough to design the cover of the book and specifically use one of Charles's. Actually, there's going to be 4. There's going to be a series of 4 books, and he wants to use Charles's artwork on every one of the books, and we were able to put together the deal, and it's actually coming to pass right now. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of give you all a little look at the cover. I believe I got the JPEG right. Is that how I put the JPEG up right there? Did I do it?
No, I don't think. I mean, unless you upload it to.
You got the link. I sent it to you.
Hold on. Yeah, no, like it's in there. Let me resend that. Those of you in the live chat know what we're talking about.
So people can actually see what's being done with that. And I'll give Charles. I'll turn it over to Charles right now. And maybe you can bring Jamison in, and they can tell you a little bit about some of the areas that's going to happen there. Because Jamison is also going to be accompanying us to the 3DL.
That's right.
And we will be letting people know when they can see this incredible fiction book that has an incredible story behind it. So. That's
right. So, sorry, did Charles have something to say first, or should I be bringing Jamison on?
Go ahead, Charles.
No, go ahead, bring Jamison on.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say.
It's a great project. I mean, I love it. I haven't read the entire book, but I'm definitely hooked. And as soon as I get a moment, which I don't have right now, I'm gonna finish it because I'm hooked.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's very fun. It's interesting.
The book again is Stellar Resolve, Book 1 of the Stellar Seed series. So sounds pretty interesting. So from Jamison himself, and for those of you who are listening, just to give you a little bit of foresight, I think we're going to be bringing Jen back onto the show, and then we're going to be moving on to our interesting conversation about that. So with that said, I'm going to bring Jamison. I'm going to bring you onto the show now, so presuming you're ready. And hello, Jamison, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Nice to talk to you guys.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on the show. So now that we've had a bit of an introduction, if you would just like to briefly tell us a little bit about this work that you're doing, the book itself.
Well, the book itself, which is graciously designed, the cover designed by Charles, and so glad to be working with Jay Gabriel as well. The book itself came to me about a year and a half ago. Yeah, no problem. No, thank you. Thank you. It came to me about a year and a half ago when I was in a shamanic healing session, and I had some beings just began to appear to me, and this story was literally downloaded to me. And as I was hearing this story, it sounded very familiar to me, and I just put pen to paper or fingers to keys and started writing. And what came out at the end just blew me away as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, that's how I would say it as well. Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm just really excited at the fact that this is actually very similar to a topic that I actually did plan on getting into tonight. But yeah, because I mean we've talked about shamanic ceremonies as well in the past. Now, I mean, I'm not entirely sure if this is something you talk about. Like, is this an experience through ayahuasca, or was this like through meditative states of?
No, this was a friend of mine. I was in Singapore at the time, and a friend of mine was actually doing some healing shamanic work on me. We were in a session, and she's just running through my chakras, and next thing you know, she's like, "Oh, you know what? Somebody's here," and she started doing a channeling, and somebody came through the channeling, and then somebody else came through the channeling after that, and again, just the information that we got from that was pretty spectacular. And so the book after that was literally channeled through me. And, you know, I look around at these series of books that are coming out. We have the Harry Potter series, and we go to the Twilight series, and now we're moving on to Catching Fire. What's the series that's out right now?
Hunger Games?
Yeah, Hunger Games, thanks. And they're all great, fantastic stories, but none of them, in my opinion, are leading people to their own divinity. And I felt like, you know what, it's time that we have a series of books that lead people to understand what their energy body is, to lead people to understand the commonality, the connection of everything in the universe, which is exactly what Charles and Julian are talking about in their music and in their art, and to lead people through the exploration of their purpose here on Earth, their dharma, and the power that they all infinitely hold within inside of themselves, and how to access that. And the book, through the adventure of the two main characters, takes us through that and really gets us to a point where we can understand that we can access all of that within us.
That's awesome. Jay or Charles, did you guys have something to... Because, I mean, I feel like I could talk to you, Jamison, for a while here. This is actually...
We'll have a lot of time next week, brother. That's okay.
Yes, that's true. That's true. We will be traveling together, so we will get that chance. And I can say that ahead of time, is that for those of you listening to this now, myself, Jay, Charles, and Jamison, we're going to be traveling, as well as Julian, so you'll be able to see those in the videos that I'll be posting, which will be part of the journey to Rockmount, which I
that's going to be a wonderful experience too, because we will be documenting the entire trip. All the behind the scenes, everything that's going on, so all the people out there will be able to see a lot of the inside things that are going on in and around the 3DL on our trip, and some very private and intimate moments, for sure.
Cool.
It'll be great.
Cool.
So Charles,
yeah, well, it'll be like a road movie.
Awesome.
Who knows what will happen? Who knows?
Oh,
exactly.
I'm just gonna. I'll say this now, and like a big part of me, like through all this documentation, like I'm just saying, if UFOs show up, I'm just, like we'll have our cameras ready, and then we'll just go with the flow, right? But with that,
I think they're waiting on us right now. That's the good thing.
With the amount of energy, I mean, like where else is 3 days of light happening, right? Like this is this is a macro of the micro, in the sense that like the gathering that's happening through 3 days of light is a reflection of all the mini gatherings that are happening like everywhere right now, like especially like through the paradigm shift communities, and just like people running into each other individually through synchronicity. Like those are part of the gathering, and then like the 3 days of light is like, again, it's like this big, blatantly obvious macro part of it. So going back to what I was saying, I mean, if I was a quasi-dimensional entity or something, like I think I would be, I'd be interested in seeing what's going to be happening at 3 days of light. So we may have some extra visitors there. So
I already think we do. We already have three. We already have a bunch of extra. I think we already lit up the. When this thing happens, it's really going to light up the cosmic pinball, and the entities up there in the aethers are going to be looking down at North Carolina, and they're going to say, "Hey, what the heck is going on down there? Look at all that light! Look at all that light! We better go down there and check that out."
Yeah, exactly.
They'll be there, I'm sure.
Cool. So in summation of this situation and this book opportunity between Charles and Jamison, all of you out there that are able to attend, and even the ones that are tuning in, you will be able to get a chance to find out more about the book, the forthcoming book, and the subsequent 3 additional books afterwards. And the series is called what, Jamison?
It's the Starseed series.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be
and I just posted the Facebook link for that. So anyone listening and or reading it, you could just go to the Facebook page and like it, so that we can get a hold of you later on and keep you abreast on everything coming up.
And what is the Facebook page for that exactly? You can just mention it.
It's facebook.com/pages/Stellar Resolve, and it's I've already listed it here on the live feed as well.
Awesome.
And,
awesome.
And the other thing I'd like to interject with all of you out there, too, and that is that Jamison and, of course, Charles Gilchrist will be joining us throughout the rest of 2012 and on the complete year of 2013 on the Times XL Tour. And, of course, we spoke a little bit about that tour last time we were on with Brendan, and that is a really great action sports tour with the underlying message of holistic lifestyle, architecture of the universe, all these premises that will be presented at 3DL are the underlying message of the Times XL Tour. And I'm really, really proud to have the great company of Visalis who are supporting our endeavors and helping us underwrite some of the costs involved with what it takes for us to do these great things, and they will be with us as well at the 3DL. So I want to shout out big time to the Visalis Corporation very much.
Yeah, and Visalis, I think that's the name of it. Yeah, so just that is the name of it, right, Jay? Just want to make sure I'm saying it right.
Visalis, and they are a great holistic health and wellness organization. Their supplements
Keyword
are
holistic.
incredible. They're amazing things for people, and that's certainly what we stand for.
Yeah, and I myself haven't had a chance to personally check them out yet, but I mean I trust Jay's word. So again, just a quick plug for them because if they're promoting positive energy, then that's what we want to help promote. So check out Visalis at their website, which is I'm not sure, but Jay, you can add a link to that.
I just posted it up.
Perfect. So their website is
timesxltour.bodybyvi.com.
Yeah, there you go. So that'll be in the show notes as well, and you guys can check that out. So just a little shout out there. But I just wanted to just to keep you guys on for a little bit longer, because Jamison, I just wanted to ask you something. There's a book that I pulled off my shelf, and I picked it up. I don't even remember exactly when I picked it up. It was but the book is called The Starseed Transmissions. And I think it may be something that you might be really interested in. But it was like written in like the 70s or 80s or something. Yeah, around that time. And again, it's like similar channeling stuff. But I got a feeling that like a lot of the information in here is stuff that's going to be like coming through your work as well, just like through different like patterns of words and language and stuff. But I'm just kind of. I'm just trying to see if I can.
Ken Carey. It says.
This one's called, on the title it says Raphael, which I think was like with a channeled entity, but I can send you the info for that. But yeah, no, I just think it might be something you'd be interested in. Let me just see. I'm just gonna like do I'm randomly opening the book to a page, and then I'm gonna try reading something from it.
Cool.
Okay, random paragraph. This is just like, I don't even know what this is, I'm just reading it, so I'll read this whole paragraph for everyone listening. And this is from the Starseed Transmission, which is like a book from the 80s. So, identifying with the being behind all life, you realize that the particular form that you are conscious of projecting through at this moment is not really who you are. As you begin to see your body as an exquisite exploratory instrument designed for the expression of your spirit, you begin to relax. Your preoccupation with survival begins to fall away. It is not that the body becomes unimportant, but rather that a fundamental identity shift has taken place. You are not your body. You are not your thoughts. You are not what you feel, not your role or your experience. You are the spirit of life itself, dancing in the clay, delighting in the glorious opportunity of incarnation, exploring the realms of matter, blessing the earth and all therein. Wow. If I were to have picked a paragraph from this book, it might have been that paragraph, but I assure you, I just randomly opened up to it. So
the way it works.
That's how it works. That's exactly how it works. Awesome. All right, Jamison, Gabriel, Charles, Jay Gabriel. It's been a pleasure having you guys on, and just while you still got on air, any last notes that you just want to mention before we move on?
I'll let Charles and Jamison go ahead and say something, and I'll speak after them.
Okay.
Charles, go ahead. You want to go first, Jamison?
Well, again, I'm totally blessed to be in this triad of great people that I'm talking with right now, and for everyone that we're reaching out to from the heart, completely from the heart. And what we're going to experience this next week is going to transcend anything that we've all probably experienced so far, and I'm just glad to be a part of that.
Amen. Yeah, I say ditto on that one, and it's an amazing thing to find people of like mind and to synergize with them in a way that's really creative, and that's actually the only kind of people I really have time to even spend with, really. Usually I'm an artist, I'm a hermit, but when I come out of my cave, then I want the best people around me I can possibly find, and that's what's happening. I mean, and that's one of the things that this 3 days of light is gonna be about. There's gonna be a ton of really, really high-minded people there. I know it. I'm really looking forward to sharing it, my information with them.
Wonderful. And Jay.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody who has taken the time to tune into the great Paradigm Shift radio program, and thank you, Brendan, for having us on again, and it's a pleasure. I really look forward to this trip and the whole experience of 3DL. And once again, I just want to tell everybody to make sure that for those of you who cannot make this trip, you can watch it on Big C TV. And that'll be on Big C TV channel, which is www.livestream.com /forward Big C TV2. And we're also going to be live on Facebook. And that Facebook address is facebook.com/forward Big C TV2. So we'll see you all there. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks again. And as if Scott was here, thanks to Scott as well, because I know he would have been here. I think his phone wasn't charged. I think that was actually the reason. But Scott, we'll be seeing you soon enough at 3DL as well as everyone else. So again, guys, thank you so much for being on the show, and namaste and farewell for now.
Thank you so much for having us, Brendan.
All right, take care, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cool, guys. All right, so you guys having fun? You guys enjoying the show so far? I am. Pretty solid episode so far, and we still got about an hour to go. And oh man, looks like Vaughn Halford just show up. So shout out to Vaughn, my brother, who's going to be on stage on the Spirit Science stage as part of Horus Rising, which is like a musician, like a rap hip hop type group, and they've got videos up. So run a search on Horus Rising or Vaughn. You can post those links. People know who Vaughn Halford is. This guy's he's going to be a household name, I'm telling you. So shout out to Vaughn. And with that said, guys, we're going to keep moving with this show, though we're going to be doing our group meditation soon at the around the top of the hour as we transition from a Psychic Saturday into a Sunday. And we're going to be doing that, that's a regular thing that we do. We do group meditation. So just a reminder on that, group meditation. Imagine when we're meditating, it's each one of us is a little node, a little interjection of the giant web. We're each a little a sparkling bead in this giant web of light. And when we sort of meditate together, it's all these strands within this grid are connecting. So it's strengthening the entire grid regardless of distance. So I think that's a pretty cool idea, just something to keep in mind once we get to the meditation. But I think it's about time that we bring our good friend Jen back onto the show. I know she's probably pretty excited to hear that, and hopefully she's got her headphones in. Just give me a heads up on that, Jen. And we're just gonna see where it goes. I just want to hear what's new with Jen. But then after that, we're still gonna get into this topic of quasi-dimensional entities. That's something that is still on the table. So stay tuned. You're listening to Paradigm Shift Radio. Yeah. So yeah, I can. You think this is my radio voice? No, this is my radio voice. No, that's not my radio voice. But anyways, so sorry. All right, Jen, I'm bringing you on. So. Whoop.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
They can hear you.
Hello. Okay, so I don't have headphones this evening, but I'm actually at a different. I feel like I sound like a hot mess right now. I feel like I sound like B. Arthur from the Golden Girls, or Estelle Getty.
I don't watch that show, so.
I have to tell you that I'm so sorry that I came in late on our program, but I have some of the most exquisite news, and you all are my favorite people in the entire world, and I'm so honored and blessed because I am literally dropping this news on the world on this show tonight. This is actually a huge announcement. This is so major.
Sounds big, Jeff.
And what you were saying earlier perfectly goes into this. And someone had just mentioned if anyone else felt the change since the moon is in the house of Scorpio earlier. And I have felt an incredible change in my powers in manifesting things. So lately, all of my meditations have been going toward manifesting this wonderful reality and also existing in multiple realities at once. and spinning all of these different profiles together and all of these experiences and people that I'm meeting. And I am manifesting some really cool physical things in my life. And then I started manifesting these things, and then the universe kind of put a halt on it and started manifesting something even bigger and better than I ever could have imagined for myself. And what that is that I have been introduced to some incredible people in this place, and that passage that you read earlier from the Starseed, that passage, which is absolutely perfect. With the help of some amazing, incredible, strong, like-minded, and wonderful and generous-hearted people, we're now scouting locations to open up our town's first meditation and Reiki healing center. And we're going to offer meditations twice a day, and we're going to offer classes, and we're going to do Kirtan Circle a couple times a week. We're going to do, I really want to do a class on weekends for children, and it's going to be called Little Buddhas, and we're going to teach them awesome visualization techniques and working with breath and just learning how to calm their minds, because they're being born with perceptual rates that would boggle our minds, and meditation and being able to channel and focus to be able to process what's coming into your field of energy is something that's going to help all these little duders out there, And this is my life dream, actually, and
that's your big news, right? Your big news is that you're being a part of this new facility that's opening up and doing all this stuff. Is that
I have one friend who is helping, because he actually knows a lot more about the business aspect of it. He actually
right.
He's a local business owner. He has been for 6 years. He's been in my hometown for over a decade. He knows a lot more. He has a lot more connections and knows, he has a lot more on his side as far as wisdom goes. So I am just ready to learn. But we're absolutely giving birth to this together. This is both of us, and he has a 14-year-old son that is just an incredible little boy who seriously we hope wants to take nephews, and lots of people are really putting steam behind everything. I tried to keep in touch. I gave a big, tall drink of water to my MacBook Pro, and
yeah, your mic's kind of going in and out, actually, Jen. It's I can tell. It was. I remember it did this before when we were on Skype before. It's tangled.
I hear some, okay, good.
Comes and goes. It's good stuff, yeah. Anyways, no, that's pretty exciting, Jen. That's pretty cool. Being able to help kids and stuff like that. I think that's awesome. So.
I'm so excited. I want it to be a place where people come and they can sign up for monthly Reiki packages, and if they sign up in advance, I'm gonna throw in extra Reiki sessions. If they refer friends, I'm gonna throw in extra Reiki sessions. If their friends decide, to come back for a few visits, I'll throw in Reiki. And the thing is, everyone's first Reiki session to be by donation only, though, because I really want someone to not feel like it was...
The only thing that's holding them back is money?
Yeah, exactly. Even if all they can give me is a few minutes of well wishes and prayers and positivity and good thoughts toward, this community, that's still going to be beautiful. And so for our opening, we're going to do an amazing kirtan session with just all the people who are helping to make this possible, to help bless everything and, just put the best foot forward. And I had talked to someone earlier, and they were thinking January might be a kind of cool to get this up and rolling, but honestly, whenever synchronicity really starts to, grind the gears or whatever, stuff starts to happen faster and faster and faster. So I don't even know. The next time that we all speak, the next time we meet, I could be light years from here as far as, the progression of finding the place where this meditation center is going to be. So just everyone out there who can hear me, if you can hear me between my voice and my mic, please just, in your Gita, just give a little bit of energy and just a little bit of love and light, because this is going to bring us all together. And I invite all of you. Currently, I have, 3 empty bedrooms. I invite all of you, if you're anywhere near traveling, couch surf, whatever. If you like dogs, I have a Cocker Spaniel. She's really sweet. Her name's Lily. I love this community, and we can back like this. We really can. So
we got to work together. So that's right. Yeah. So that's exciting. So anybody, add Jen on Facebook. You can find her links through the show notes as well. And sorry, Jen, where do you live again physically?
I live in Morgantown, West Virginia, and I'm about an hour south of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on the east.
Okay, so for anybody near there, go visit Jen, and you guys can hang out for an afternoon and do Reiki and talk and hug.
I'm still trying to get to 3DL as well. I'm absolutely.
Oh, are you going to 3DL? Like, is there?
Yes, I want to volunteer on the 1st. I want to get down there. If I leave here at like 7 in the morning, I can get there for registration and volunteer and get to meet everybody on the 1st. And I'm like, I would seriously leave Morgantown at like 4 in the morning to get there and like start to, greet everybody as they come in the gate or whatever. So I'm really excited to get to meet and bond with everybody and do some Reiki and get to share some energy. It's going to be so beautiful. Yes, and thank you for posting my link. I just noticed that in the Paradigm Shift Radio, that is my personal page. Like, that's the page where you'll see me post silly stuff like pictures of the food that I'm cooking. Anyway, it means something to me, I guess. But that's it. And I just look forward to getting to, once again, meet more people, get to serve more people, get to honor more people, Because the thing is, our kingdom is not determined by the number of people that serve us. Our kingdom is determined by the number of people that we serve. So, thank you so much, Sammy. I see that. So get out there and serve people, share your gifts with the world, and truly build your kingdom, and we'll connect all our kingdoms. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, the big secret, like this is one of the big secrets, the more you give, the more you receive.
Yes.
There you go. So, I mean,
it's
bit of mystery and enigma. Try it, yeah. Cool. All right, Jen, we're going to do our meditation.
Yeah.
Like, I think we should do that now. And I was just going to say, like, the topic that I'd like to bring in afterwards is related to quasi-dimensional entities. I mean, I can explain a little bit more about what that means, but just before we get into it, like, is that something that you got some stories to share about? Okay. Because we didn't talk about this beforehand, but I mean, obviously. Everyone has stories shared. But yeah, for those of you who may be interested and are in the live chat as well, I just posted up a link for a video that I posted a few days ago of some unusual anomalies caught on film. And the footage is actually from August 3rd, and it's myself, and I'm like meditating out on a jungle gym sort of thing, and I'm like balancing on it. Jen, I don't even know if you've seen it, but feel free to check that out, even just while I'm talking right now. And we'll go into our meditation very shortly. So.
Oh wait, and of course my YouTube is gonna like interrupt and embarrass me because that's what always happens. Remember?
What?
Nothing. I because you had.
Oh, you can't. Yeah. Well, for everyone else who wants to check that out, feel free to check that out because like in the video you see some the unusual anomalies. If they're not bugs. Like, that's my point, right? Like, I'm trying to find out the truth here. So, I mean, are they bugs? If they are bugs, then there you go. That's the end of the story. But if they're not bugs, then, we got something to talk about.
Sweetie, no, I
will be talking about.
Yes,
but let's not talk too much about it. I'm just saying, we got to give them a hook, right? We got to keep the listeners. Alien moss. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about alien moss, so.
I have way too many yin bubbles going on right now. Like, I think we should hurry and meditate. And also, please don't forget to give a little bit of your energy toward, of course, the show, toward 3DL, toward the meditation center. And I do actually want to share this. I've been sitting down with my partner, and we've been talking about, like, we're getting ready to brainstorm even more. And I think I want to call the place Lotus Hands, and I want to know what y'all think about that. And if it's cheesy, dude, I want everyone's creative input. I want it to be the kind of place where everybody puts some energy into, because we're all getting energy out of it. But also, feel free to contact me so that I can put good, positive vibes out toward your causes in life, toward the things that you all are working on manifesting for yourselves, whether it's a healthier relationship with your partner or a better dialogue with your parents, more open lines of communication with people at work. Even if it's like, hey, money's tight and I just need the universe to supply a little more abundance. Dude, I'm not even kidding you. The power of positive thought and prayer, and especially in large numbers, love and compassion, it flows, and I'm telling you, things really start to move fast. So please, absolutely, drop a line. Let me know what's important to you. Just let me, carry some of your mission around in my heart, please. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, all right, so what Jen just said, I think that's a good thing that we can sort of take with us into our meditation, is just really, like, it's happening. Like, this is positivity. This is us, like, manifesting reality, and not even just, like, our lives are not our own. Our actions ripple into the past and into the future, and we are bound by others. So I think that's something that we have to keep in mind, and realize that through our act of meditation, even just through this, like, we have the potential to help influence, like, the entire reality grid. So to help move our own path is both a shared collective path. So with that said, I think let's do this. Let's move into our meditation. So I'll just sort of walk everyone into it and just get comfortable, everyone. And Jen, was there anything else that you would like to say before I just walk them into it?
You know what? Honestly, all I can say right now is that carry this with you. Really, just don't be
carry the light.
Don't be afraid to lean on everybody else here, and don't be afraid to also carry this on for other people. And every week I feel like our community is going to keep growing and growing and growing because of this. And I truly feel like this is the most important part of our community. And it's a shame, if you look at the spirit science videos, the video on meditation has the absolute least views.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, and we mentioned that, and it's the most important link. So please, like, I know that sometimes we might joke and might be kind of silly, and, it's so hard to not just be a kid and laugh and enjoy every facet of this show. But the meditation is the root of all of the growth and the love and the bond. And so that's where our energy bank stems from. So really, dedicate your gita to this, put your energy, and know that in doing that, this is putting into your own karmic bank, and this will help manifest your own wonderful achievements in life. And you'll share those with other people, as well as have, personal accomplishments that, just get you through each day and that kind of thing. So it's just a beautiful thing.
Yep. I mean, we've said it before, so we'll say it again. But yeah, no, that's a healthy reminder. So, all right, let's take that with us through this meditation as we continue to carry the light into the future and down the paths that we may journey upon. So, presuming you're already comfortable, just take this moment, if you don't already, to close your eyes and to focus in on your breath. Just find that place of stillness within yourself, where you have the absolute infinite potential to create reality with your thoughts, with your mind, with your heart. Let your mind go where it needs to. Manifest the reality that you choose. gently take these next what you just experienced to stay with you. Hold on to it. Do not let it fade away, like gold running through your fingers. Allow your palm to be open, to receive. Okay, guys. Allow yourself to transition back to this reality. Just sort of move yourself back into it. Familiarize yourself with the room around you. And we're back. So, there you go. Another wonderful group meditation on behalf of Paradigm Shift Radio. So, if that's something you're into, remember to tune in live to Paradigm Shift Radio every Saturday, and we will be recording, other broadcasting live from 3 Days of Light next week happening, and that is going to be awesome. So just so much is on the horizon. Like, we are just going through some really exciting stuff, guys, and I'm really happy to be able to share it with you and to just have this moment where it's just like me and you, and yeah, just want to say thank you to all of you who've been a part of this, because I cannot do it alone. So let's bring Jen back on the air. There we go. Hey, Jen, how's it going?
It is fantastic, and I just, like...
Are you crying?
Absolutely love you so much. It's ridiculous. It was just the most fantastic energy, and I cannot wait to seriously, like, I am manifesting 3DL, and I cannot wait to hug each and every person who's there. It's going to be crazy. I am so looking forward to it. Yeah. Von Halford, oh my gosh, I'm going to hug your face off of Song.
Watch out. Watch the Von.
Right? I'm going to hug you so hard, bro.
All right, so it is 12:15, and that means we got 45 minutes left on the show, since it is a 2-hour special tonight, since I knew that we would have enough to talk about, and there's a lot going on, so give us a little bit of... But, as we were saying, the topic for tonight that we have for the last hour, or last 45 minutes, is quasi-dimensional entities. So what does this even mean, first of all? Well, to understand what a quasi-dimensional entity, first of all, I think I may have... I don't know if I invented that term. I mean, I just started using it, like, just on my own. Because, I mean, it was the best, like, way I could use the English language to sort of describe what I was trying to talk about to people. So quasi is... quasi meaning sort of here and there at the same time. And dimensional, obviously, this idea of like vibrational dimensions within this reality, and this idea that like even scientifically speaking, like the cones in our eyes only receive like, you know, a small percentage of like the light and the reality that's actually around us. So dimensions is this idea that we all end all, so there's like more beyond our perception. And then entities, so quasi-dimensional entities being this idea that in the same way that you look at our reality and we have, you know, all these different creatures, all these different species, there's humans, there's dogs, there's cats, etc., etc. Like, you can also have these forms of awareness existing in other dimensional states, which may not be traditionally like we, you know, like it's not like solid in the same way that we sort of recognize this reality to be. So you would, it's quasi-dimensional entities, kind of, it's like a blanket term, and it's still something we're defining. And I think that's why I'm trying to talk about it on the show tonight, because like I'm not saying this is what it is. I'm saying like let's figure out what this could mean. And it could it could be a blanket term for things like spirits, for things like fairy, for things like gnome, for things like Sasquatch, which is something I'll definitely be talking about tonight, and for things like what is captured on video in that link that I posted, an unusual anomalies caught on film, which I'll just post a link to again in the live chat for those of you who are listening to this at another time or checking the show notes. Go to youtube.com/skullbabylon. You can see the video there. But within that video, let's sort of use that as a point to jump off of. Jen, have you seen a point to watch that video? Like.
Yes, I did actually, and that was really interesting. And this is just really fantastic that you have that, because I actually have a fantastic camera. I have a Canon EOS 60D. It's an 18 megapixel behemoth that I love, and it's amazing. And I spent this summer in my backyard on a tripod taking photos of the sky at all times of night. And it was life changing. And this is gonna sound so like crazy. Okay, I'm a Cancer. I'm such a yin. I'm water. I'm the moon. And I got a lot of moonlight this past year. Like I was one of the people, from 2 to 4 sleep wasn't happening. I liked having the open air to my thoughts and that kind of thing. And I actually would take my amazing camera and I would upload photos into my MacBook Pro, and I could do really cool zooms. And I've actually caught light beings astrally projecting in the sky, flying around. And the cool thing is light behaves in certain ways, but whenever you look at light, if a camera is not moving, if it's in one place, and there are multiple objects in the sky, leaving multiple trails of light coming from and going in multiple directions that are not all the exact same squiggle, you see that it's not the camera moving because every single light beam would move the same way, but instead I'm getting this. There's this especially like golden one that I really think is seriously my spirit guide, to be quite frank. But the cool thing is I've caught some really amazing photos, but they are on my dad's laptop because I was in between computers for a minute. But I just think it's wonderful that you caught this on video. Those are just beautiful.
Yeah, and what you said, because like when I said like quasi-dimensional entities is like elves, gnomes, blah blah blah, like I should have included right away like UFOs. I think
frequency, because what happens is I'm so sorry.
Anything with a frequency, yeah.
The thing is they occupy the same space. It's just that when you vibrate on a different frequency, you interact with different realities and multiple realities. Oh, Von Halper. Michelle Obama is quasi-dimensional. But quite honestly though, it's really fantastic to be able to operate in those different realities, but then also to witness other things operating in the vibrational field. It's very cool. And then to get some evidence, to get your own solid evidence, is just completely beautiful. It's absolutely life-changing. I would not say that it's not at all. And there's Meade actually makes a telescope that has an attachment for my camera. It's only like a $15 threaded thing that threads into my lens. And then there's like a little stand that I have to, it's an adapter that I put onto the tripod. But to take high-dimension photos or videos of the sky through the telescope with my Canon, and you can also do it with a certain kind of Nikon, but for the Canon you have to have an EOS line. If you have one of the Rebels, it won't work. But anyone interested in that, like I would love to talk about that after the show, if anyone knows a little bit more about that.
Like camera techniques for like how to capture these things on film. Like that's a whole topic in itself, And so I mean, allow me to just sort of like paint a picture here, because I mean, we all have our own understandings, and like when I sort of put this together, this really connected some thoughts for me. But it's this idea that even when we're talking about quasi-dimensional entities, we're talking about UFOs up in the sky. Well, we can also bring this topic of orbs. Orbs are like those orbs that we see in photos, right? So like there's this idea that like what potentially is happening here is being on sometimes micro scales potentially have the same like this is a theory, but just tell me what you think. What we see as the orbs in photos are potentially like a Merkaba light body vehicle of an entity. So like the Merkaba, which is like the star tetrahedron, like in a 3-dimensional form, and it's like a sacred technology. It's like natural spiritual technology, and like so. The idea is that like some of the UFOs that we see in the sky, like maybe like beings with their activated Merkabas, so to speak, floating around.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And so what we get like up in the sky is sort of like one representation of the same thing that sometimes we'll see on the micro scale, like being down on the ground with us, like as orbs. Okay, go ahead, Jen. I know you don't want to talk about it.
because
you got
as
something to say.
so is below. And the thing is, at the same time, this is something that I want everyone to know. People ask all the time, the Big Bang Theory, what is it, what's the origin, what is it, and everything. And this is something that everybody needs to be made aware of. And I think this actually clears up a lot of confusion and is wonderful. What this is the Big Bang Theory was a very physical manifestation of the explosion of consciousness and light and energy and high vibrational frequencies. And here's the thing. We look at particles like I used to have a teacher in high school that I learned, I had him for science in freshman year, and then I also had him for astronomy, science and astronomy, and physiology too, actually. He was an amazing bio teacher. But anyway, he used to joke and say that he would shoot us with a neutrino gun because neutrinos, we're the vast majority of our bodies is air, not just water, people. But of the dense particles, water is
we are air.
Yeah. So people always joke and say, "Poof, I'm going to shoot you with a neutrino gun," and we always laugh. But the funny thing is, we think that we can measure these incredibly small distances and incredibly large distances. Well, dude, the Hubble is my homeboy, but I'm telling you that we still can't see the end of time and space. And this is just in one galaxy of, and the Hubble, I forget how many galaxies it's, recorded and taken pictures of. And that ought to tell you about the insane amount of energy that was the explosion, that was the actual physical manifestation of consciousness. And exactly, it is consciousness expanding upon and experiencing itself. And it's because not every being is given free will, but our Creator God, free will can only be given by a Creator God that was given the free will to give its creations free will. And Creator God did not have free will.
Oh, you're breaking up. Say that again. Do we have free will or not, Jen? Tell me the truth.
Yes, we do. We do have free will. Here's the interesting thing. As human beings, we do have free will. Not every being does have free will, but at the same time, our Creator gave us free will, but we do not have to love our Creator. We have the free will to not love Him. But the thing is, our free will leads us to our destiny. And people ask all the time, do you believe in destiny or free will? And people absolutely believe that, it's one or the other. But no, just like, science and religion, it's not, because seriously, one can't exist without the other. And at the same time, neither is entirely correct on its own. I was talking to a friend last night, and I was saying how if on one hand, one person says that every single other practicing religion is wrong, and on the other hand, that the religion that they practice is 100% correct, then they are automatically wrong for both of them, because the second that you look at them saying that another religion is incorrect, that negates their own correctness, because every religion really is one religion telling the exact same story with different retail. Vaughn is such
Jen, I'm just going to say, just take a breath. It's just like... No, I'm just saying, we're kind of ping-ponging. I love that you, have this energy and stuff. I just want to be able to, bring it back into, the topic of quasi-dimensional entities and stuff.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
I know. We get excited and we tell stories, but no, I agree. I think there's there's all these. I mean, that was something that came up in Cloud Atlas the other night. This idea of truth being this this one thing, and then there's there's one truth, and then there's variations of mistruths or something. But I think I don't know. That's a topic for another time. So, but
yes, I agree.
Sorry, Jan. Go ahead. Finish your thought. I'm not cutting you off. I apologize. So there's more to that.
Basically, I think it's really interesting that Vaughn is seriously saying, he just said, I feel like I'm so through my kills deck, except I'm Vaughn Shelley. Yeah. Actually, I am I channel Seshada or Sesha, and that it actually is Thoth's wife. I have had some crazy healing experiences along the way. my DMT experience, actually. For my DMT experience, I broke through, but all that meant was, I made it through the white, and then, everything faded. But when I opened my eyes, Jen did not go to a different dimension. Sesha actually came to this dimension, and she actually went around the room to each of my friends who were there for the ceremony, and she did personal readings for them. And we actually recorded the session. It was 2.5 hours long. We had a wonderful weekend in Philly, and actually my friends who were there and who did everything, they should be at 3DL. I am manifesting them there. I am absolutely manifesting them there. But it's been an incredible year. I talked to a spirit guide actually this past winter, and she had told me that, I pretty much needed to just hang on and realize that I had a wild ride of growth ahead of me this year. And even looking back, I had no idea how big it would be. And every day, I have no idea how it happens, but every day is bigger than the last. And now I'm looking at opening, my own meditation center and being able to do Reiki and touch even more people and expand my kingdom by expanding the people that I serve, So it's been some pretty insane stuff. And I know that I just went kind of off topic again, but just
that's how you're feeling, That's like from the heart. So I think it's okay to nothing to be sorry about. And yeah, I love you too, Jen. So and you know what? Like I think what you're talking about, like the whole Sesha thing and like the DMT experience and stuff, like that is relevant. That does tie in with like this idea of what we're talking about, like quasi-dimensional entities and stuff. Because I mean, like we are multi-dimensional entities. I mean, and I think when you sort of open up to this idea, like through experiences like DMT and stuff, like it becomes like very real. Like there is no, like sort of like where there might have been like this doubt before, like suddenly this idea like that there is more to reality is blatantly apparent to you because you are there. Like you are beyond your own like body and mind. Like you're experiencing like other energies and colors that you have not seen before, and it's so surreal, so real.
It is, and
so unreal.
The wonderful thing is when. Okay, for my experience, like Jen just kind of like took a back seat, and Sesha just like went around and like worked the room, and bless her. But it was really interesting because I was looking through her eyes, and I felt brain dead because everything was just so perfect. I was in this gorgeous apartment in Philadelphia, and there was this amazing section of like skylights in the side of the wall, in a beige apartment with a loft area for like the bed and paintings that friends had made, and every line, every single color, every shade, every flicker of light were completely perfect. And I looked around and I just kept saying, your beautiful little church is just so perfect. And I had a beautiful experience. And the thing is, I was talking to a friend earlier about how like my vision was it was like beyond having perfect vision. Like everything was perfect. The golden mean was everywhere.
The filters were off.
Right, exactly. And the thing is, we come back from these trips or whatever, and I'm thinking like
it's still there.
My vision isn't perfect now, and it's like, how do we take those goggles off for good? How do we remove that for good? How do we keep that perfect perception forever? And the thing is, we really need to alchemically transmute ourselves to really realize that everything is perfect always, whether it's great or whether it's blankety blank, whatever terrible 4-letter word kind of day you're kind of having. And I think we need to realize that all of these experiences do shape us. They do contribute to the reality that we create for ourselves. So seriously, why not create some fabulous realities where, we serve people and make their lives better every day, and where everybody loves us and we love them and we can help carry their burdens, and we can give people hope. That's what we need right now. We need hope. We need love. What we need is, to be there for one another. And we all need to ascend to this level of Christ-like consciousness. And it absolutely warms my heart so much every time I get to meet a new person and bond with them and to heal them and to cry with them and, to start to rebuild with them. And I My cell phone goes off 24 hours a day. I just disappointed a wonderful young man. I bailed on him last night, twice in the same night actually. It's possible because I had friends that really needed me, and I had people who were hurting and suffering, and I took the evening to help them, and then I took the evening to go ahead and get back into a meditative state and to raise my consciousness and to refill my compassion tank and to reach unconditional love. And but you guys, like, honestly, this community is what keeps me going, because every time I meet someone that I share Reiki with, or every time I meet someone that I get to speak to, you are absolutely reflecting the light that I know that is my path. Like, I'm here to heal you. Like, I'm here to help carry those burdens. I'm here to help you. And the thing is, when you go away from me, you will hold people at your bosom, and you will heal them, and you will, get them through the darkest moments of their lives as well. And it is the most beautiful thing, and it's fabulous. This is what's ahead of us, and this is why every day I don't know why I'm still shocked, but every day is better than the last, and I think I'm in heaven right now. Like, I think I'm in heaven right now, because all of these beings are coming to me, and they have these wounds, but you know what? They face them, and then they embrace everything, and then they're spreading the word, and they are. I mean, I just had a friend call me last night to tell me that he's getting engaged, and one of the things that facilitated the engagement was he got together. Their love increased their vibrational frequency. They're building their psychic connections. And, like, he was sitting in his living room watching TV, and all of a sudden he got a cold chill. And it was a physical reaction, a chakra reaction, not like food or, bad sushi. But he immediately put his hand on his phone and hopped off the couch and went outside. And he actually just moved home to take care of his father, who's just had a heart attack. And he's doing better now, but he's always been an incredibly strong man for his family. He's a soldier, too. And as soon as he walked out the front door, his phone rang, he looked down. 45 seconds before, his fiance, his now fiance, had wrecked and totaled her car, and he immediately felt it, because they share their psychic ability is increasing. Like, people are not approaching the end of this era and not meeting their twin flames, and all these people are saying, "Oh, you're getting together, it's so quick. You're getting married, it's so quick." But this is, there are so many timelines that are coming to an end right now that people are.
Convergence. Oh, I think, Jen, your mic's kind of breaking up.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Is it any better?
Yeah, it's better. Is this okay? What's the moral of this story, Jen?
The moral of the story is just love. Keep caring and keep coming back, and keep your friends with you. Keep making it grow. Please, please, please. I love you all.
Yep. Like, that's what friends are for. We make each other stronger. We give each other strength. So that's what we gotta do. Gotta build a tribe. Gotta work together. Gotta gather everyone and just boom, do it. And we gotta talk about quasi-dimensional entities. You know what I'm talking about? Can we do that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No. I think. Okay. Just not keeping in mind everything Jen just said. Yes. We're just gonna sort of keep the spiral going and bring ourselves back around to this topic that we have 25 minutes left to talk about. Because, I mean, seriously, this is, I love, there's a lot to this topic. And I think that when you understand, the idea that, how spirits sort of tie into this, even the idea of, gnomes and stuff, that's something that's interesting to me. This idea that, we look at all our folklore and stuff, and we have gnomes and fairies and even dragons and stuff. A lot of people would just be like, well, obviously they don't exist. They don't exist now. Therefore, they never existed. And anybody who thought they existed back then was just crazy, So, or it's this idea that they actually did exist, and maybe there was certain pockets, certain areas, or certain time periods where the veil was thinner, and we were actually able to interact with these entities and see them and stuff, and they're actually, in some cases, they're occupying the same space just on a different vibrational density. So it's this idea that maybe dragons are still real, but they're just like shifted out of their vibration. Because maybe dragons are like super smart in the same way that space dolphins are super smart, and rather than them like sticking around and freaking us out, they're just like, oh, we'll just like shift our dimension, still exist, but then just like not be like super apparent to us, but we can still like communicate them in some way or another. So
can I interject something, please? I actually am being...
By all means.
Serious. I think that for Paradigm Shift Radio, for this show, I think that we should create a logo on a T-shirt, and I think that our T-shirt should be an ad for Space Dolphin Free Tuna.
Okay. Well, I think Vaughn already made the graphic for that.
Never mind.
Yeah.
That's stupid. I'm sorry.
No. Vaughn already made a logo for that. He already drew a picture for me of a dolphin inside a UFO. So thanks.
And I was actually kind of hoping that our mascot would be the Dolphicorn. It's half dolphin and half unicorn. And you can imagine which half is the unicorn. If the back half was the unicorn instead of the front, it would just look like a horse and a dolphin. So, you know.
I don't know. I just like imagine like a dolphin with a unicorn, like a unicorn dolphin. Yeah, like if something's called unicorn. What does a corn mean in unicorn? Why isn't it unihorn? That's so weird.
Unicorn.
Whoa, what's wrong with that? Why is it like that's like a glitch in our language right there? It should be called a unihorn, not a unicorn. It doesn't make any sense. So a unihorn dolphin. That's what I'm proposing. So dolphicorn. There you go. Okay. So anyways, but yes, like okay. So this Okay, first of all, I'd just like to say, someone who would like to join us on the chat who has some sort of crazy story about quasi-dimensional entities, feel free to call in using the number or through Skype and get on air with us and share us the story. So this could be a story about the time that you experienced like DMT or ayahuasca and communicated with some spirits then, or were not on any sort of substance and still communicated with spirits, and just some sort of interesting story that you like to share. I'll just share one quick story because it's like really interesting, and this is a story that my friend told me, and she lived on one of the islands on the west coast in Vancouver, and it was about her sort of like she was on one of the islands, and there was like a party going on with her parents. And then, sorry, Jen, your mic's just kind of fuzzy. I'm just going to mute it.
That's fine, maybe.
Okay, I'll just while I tell this story. Sorry. Okay, so she lives on one of the islands, and her parents were having a party. She was only like 5 years old, and then she went and she wandered off by herself, and she went into the forest, and she was like walking through the forest and everything, and then she sort of found like this pathway, and the pathway was like almost like for her size. So she was like, oh, cool. And then she sort of starts walking through this pathway, going underneath all these trees and stuff. And then she came across what she thought, like in her mind as a child, was like some sort of like wedding for gnomes, or like at least little, shorter human beings, like something that, like we're not like, and then so she saw them, and then like they saw her, and then she like went the other way, and then she like left and stuff, and she went back to like the party where her parents were, and she told them, she's like yeah, I just like had this experience, and then like opposed to them just saying like, oh, she's crazy and everything, like there was other people like who were at that party as well who were like, oh, like like that's other people have like other people have seen that, like that's not just like a one-off thing, like other people know like what she may be talking about. So I think that's like a pretty cool story in itself, and again, it's this idea that like children being on like the vibration that they're on are like closer to being able to see these other beings that might be just like a few dimensions, just like a fraction away from us, but just on a different dimensional plane, so to speak. And one other thing that's just like a whole paradigm shifty thing. Okay, like in terms of quasi-dimensional entities, like have you ever wondered why the Smurfs are blue? It's because the Smurfs are actually like a conscious illusion to real quasi-dimensional entities. Because like when you're in that dimension, like first of all, our eyes are our colors are inverted. So like what we're seeing right now, first of all, it's like upside down, as well it's inverted. So if you were to look at like a person, like a Caucasian person, and inverted their color of their skin, and you can do this through like Photoshop as well, invert the color of the skin, and it becomes cyan, it becomes blue. And if like you're in the other dimensional spaces where either you're like seeing these entities or communicating with them, it would not be uncommon for them to be blue, which, and this is where it all comes full circle, which is why in Hindu deity depictions, the gods are depicted as like blue beings, and that's why the Smurfs are blue, and that's why like Avatar is blue. So like, whoa, that's I think that's kind of a cool thing. So like we too are blue beings, if you think about it that way, like we are the blue beings as well, and that's why Smurfs are blue is my best guess. So pretty cool. So Jen, what do you think about that? I think I'm onto something.
Yes, I do. It's about my DMT experience, actually.
Did you see blue people on your DMT experience?
Dude, listen to this. This was fantastic. I love that you said that. So this was fantastic. My DMT experience actually happened the very week after the Spirit Science Retreat. I met some friends there, and I'm not going to say names, but one of the person who actually was like the priest for our DMT ceremony, his name now to me is Vishnu, and like activate heart center, hands and nod and just yes. So I talked to Thoth, I talked to Elijah at the retreat, and we actually had an incredible bonding experience, and just like my heart always goes out to him, and I wasn't even really manifesting 3DL as much because I didn't know if Elijah would be there, and I didn't know how our paths would cross again, but I was like, okay, because Thoth and Sasha wouldn't miss this for anything because, she's been manifesting this with Thoth for lifetimes. But anyway, the beautiful thing was, I had been looking for some answers, and I talked to Elijah, and I told him that, I kind of knew where I wanted to go. I knew what I needed the answer for. And there are a couple really cool details about, like, how vintage objects have come into my life this time around. There's a specific piece of jewelry that connects me to her and her to me, and it's a beautiful thing. It actually comes through a wonderful relationship that is from my past, from a starseed from the same family as me. And he was put here to help jog my, of course, to, awaken me back to, my purpose and my calling. And that's why, I'm only 27 going through all of this. But anyway, the beautiful thing was I was really focusing. I was like, I really want to know about my past life or my identity. And that's why Jen took the back seat and Sasha got to come in and view the world and interact with these other beings. And I told Sasha, I was like, manifest Thoth, call on him, let him know you're here. And the funny thing was...
Is this a story about blue people?
Yes, listen, I looked up.
Okay, go ahead.
I kind of like went out of it for a second, closed my eyes and just like breathed and focused. And when I opened my eyes, my friend who was the priest for the ceremony, I watched his face slowly morph from his normal face to like a brightish, like magenta-ish, and then I saw like the digital codec go across his flesh, and then as soon as it went across, it created the fabric of that dimension, the higher vibrating dimension, and it turned to that bright, glowing blue, and he had the big, open, amused eyes, and that look on his face that's on the Mona Lisa, and once you know what that grin is about, it changes your entire life. And it was so radiant, and it was so beautiful. And if you Google, like, do yourself a favor, like, Google image search Vishnu, okay? And you see pictures where some are more radiant, and you're like, oh, it's radiant here, but does it look like this? And I have to tell you, yeah, this psychedelic grin, yes, Vaughn, you are my soulmate. But it really is that blue, and it radiates that much. It is that beautiful. And that's why, with my friend, I affectionately bow to him and greet him every conversation as, my Vishnu, because I had told Sasha, I was like, look, channel Thoth, and the thing is, Vishnu is honestly just another incarnation. And I looked at him, and the grin on his face was like, he was laughing at me because he was like, I've been here all along. And it was one of the most revealing
moments. That's like a dream I had the other day. Oh, man.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Oh. Sorry, yeah, we're kind of breaking up on your end, but I'll just say it just because I already started saying it. But like I had a dream a few days ago where actually it was after I posted the video of like the anomalies, and I had a dream and I woke up and like the main thing that I could remember from the dream was this message of we've been with you all along.
Right? Oh my God!
I'm just like, yes. Oh my gosh! Yes, I'm doing it.
How about I cannot?
I almost swore right there.
Good. Okay, how about I cannot wait Skull, I cannot wait to see you at 3DL, and I'm gonna hug
yeah.
your face off of your skull. Like I cannot wait to see you
Yes.
and hug you in the flesh. It's gonna be so amazing.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So let's with 15 minutes left in the show, Vaughn and Jericho, I think you guys are interested in coming on. So do we know Vaughn? Send me Jericho's number. I'm not sure. I want to know if I'm bringing him on as well. So wait, Vaughn, I don't see. Yeah, no, I do see your number in the queue. Okay, so I'll bring Vaughn on in a second. I'm just trying to think in terms of quasi-dimensional entities. Yeah, okay. Sasquatch. I have to mention this. Like the idea that Sasquatch could be another quasi-dimensional entity, and the reason why we don't see him all the time isn't because like we can't find him. It's because like he like chooses not to be seen because he like shifts out of dimensions and stuff.
Exactly.
The truth is that we've actually have communicated with Sasquatch before in very like classified ways. But it was out of like Sasquatch's free will because it's not like we could actually capture a Sasquatch.
No.
And Sasquatch is maybe like, you know, who's to say they're male, right? Like a female Sasquatch is not an uncommon idea.
More evolved being than we are.
Yeah.
He's more spiritually evolved. But like seriously, if women were more spiritually evolved, we would never bother shaving our legs, and we would also.
And they turn into Sasquatch.
Okay.
Yes, and that like segues right into my video of I'll have to post. I'm gonna post my video of my elusive Sasquatch footage, which is actually you'll see it ties in with this idea of women being Sasquatch and stuff. Wow, I didn't even realize I was like doing that when I made that, but you'll see. I'll post the videos. It's awesome. But sorry, I'm like talking fast now, but just because we're running out of time. But yes, this idea that Sasquatch has actually been like in contact with us before, but like we had him. It was out of like free will, so like Sasquatch was there talking to us, and then eventually he was like, all right, like I'm done with you for now, so I'm just gonna leave. And then like the Sasquatch would like walk through the walls of the building. Like we can't capture Sasquatch because he can like walk through walls. Like I know that sounds crazy, but if you're listening to Paradigm Shift Radio, then you know like that's probably like right up your alley. So there you go. Again, like that's just a little bit of information. But all right, okay, I'm gonna bring on Vaughn Halford. Okay, Vaughn and Jericho, how are you guys on the same number? Whatever. Okay, Vaughn, I'm bringing you on.
We are both here.
Whoa.
We're on the same
okay.
number?
You're on the same number. Okay, there we go.
You're magical. We
Good?
found a way to break science and become one
my God.
and just be on the same number.
There you go. Okay, Vaughn Halford and Jericho, the two members of Horus Rising. Welcome to Paradigm Shift Radio.
Well, that was good. Yes.
On the topic, with 10 minutes left, of quasi-dimensional entities, what do you have to add? Insight.
Well, I will add on to when I was having a dream. It was like, okay, y'all ever had like a dream within a dream? Okay, well, let me tell you, I was having this dream, and I was like in this monastery, this big, huge monastery. It was like a world, like it was like in Pandora from Avatar. And I was sitting on top, and I was meditating on top of this monastery, wearing all blue. For some reason, everything was just blue. I was wearing blue. I was like, you know, it was like in a temple, like a, you know, White Lotus temple in Mortal Kombat or something. I don't know. But then when I was meditating, I go into a whole nother dimension. Seems like I just like shifted to a whole nother place. And excuse me, I was in a circle with like my ancestors, but they were all green. Now I know we're talking about blue beings and you know and that stuff, but when I was interacting with, they were all green, like shining emerald green. And we were sitting there, we were just talking and things like that. He was telling me that and there was one directly adjacent from me, parallel to me. It was this being of light, this light being shining through this circle, like right across from me. This light body, and the one sitting next to me, this shining green entity. He looked like Osiris or Asar. He looked just like him with the long beard and everything. And he told me that one thing he told me was that I should go back, you know. And I was going through a certain point in time where I was out of the house. I moved out, and I was just not in a good place. I was very antagonistic. I was just pretty much just going through. But it was pretty much like an intervention, you know. It seems like it's like this real big intervention from, you know,
my oversoul come back and telling me that I need to go back, get a better understanding or a better look, a better angle, things that I've been doing, go back and seek understanding so I can overstand and understand what's been going on and why, and contemplate about why things are, instead of looking at things from an immediate perspective. And it was real powerful at that point. And from then, ever since, I had a dream, and I woke up, and I started thinking about things I was doing in my life at that point. You know, my vibrations were just was like way off. You know, it was really just there. You know, friendships was kind of crumbling down. My relationship was crumbling down, and just like in general. And then once I did that, once I went back, I started going back to the, you know, like on the base. You know, go back to where it kind of all began. I started appreciating things a lot more, and I started dealing with things in a lot more spiritual perspective, and pretty much contemplating, you know, not just the object itself or the situation itself, but what makes it up. And that's what I learned about going to the root of everything, going to the root of every problem or situation. It's like in the movie Tron, where he said, you got to remove yourself out of the equation, basically become the solution. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the variables, but then you have that which is unknown that brings it all together in full circle.
But you're also, one of the wonderful things is that I actually was just talking to another friend about this not long ago, and I love that you just shared with us your very own Big Bang experience. That was the moment that really started to explode your frame of consciousness, and that's the Big Bang of your life. And because of that, you have stories after that you are carrying in your own personal Bible. Just like we're a community here, and you're sharing that with us, there are other people who it's going to click with them, and they're going to look back and remember when they went through something similar, and then they're going to remember, you know, what started that fire in them as well. And like, this is just so beautiful, and this really is just so synchronistic of how all of this, the experiences that people are having are starting to overlap and mimic one another and their symptoms.
Vaughn, you're there. Do you got something to add? Hello.
I don't know. I just absorbed what Jericho just said.
Yeah.
Which he's never told me. So
yeah.
that just, I was just like, wow, why didn't you tell me that? But anyways, beyond that,
you know, if you pay attention to me more, but yeah.
Guys, save it for off the
okay. Basically, the only thing I was going to add was that recently I had an epiphany. And during that epiphany, I was able to remember an experience that I had with the quasi-dimensional entity even more clear than I'd ever seen before. And I started remembering things that I'd forgotten about this what I thought was a lucid dream. But when I really think back, I wasn't asleep when it happened. But basically, my room disappeared, and I was in front of this, and it was a crystal temple. It was literally all made out of crystal. And I walked up the steps, and I think I've mentioned this before on Paradigm Shift Radio, but there was a woman at the top of the stairs, and she had long hair, and she was glowing. But I thought, when I first remembered, I thought it was just her eye that was glowing, but it was like her entire body was glowing, and it was glowing like indigo, and then it turned into red near the eye. The third eye. I could see it glowing from inside of her third eye. It was really weird. It was hard to explain, but she was definitely, and there was actually a golden, like, hovering. It's hard to explain. I'm not sure if it was a flower of life or the seed of life, but it was one of these things. And she showed me this, and then she told me that, like, basically like what Jericho said, like, this was my Big Bang experience, because everything since then has just completely, my entire reality has shifted, and my whole life has just gone, like, I've been on a journey, and it's just been amazing. And I've met so many people in like minds, like you, Skull, and Jen, and Jericho, and we've all been, it's like, I've never run into so many people that had the same kind of experience. And when they say a paradigm shift is happening, how many other people have similar experiences? With these beings from another dimension.
Yeah,
like it's almost something like
more
a few years ago. It would have been weird to say that to someone.
Well, that's true, eh? And like kind of going back to this idea that like the veil, Yeah, like kind of going back to this idea that like the veil between dimensions is becoming thinner. So like these opportunities, these chances to communicate with these entities are happening. Like they're ready to happen, right? Like these other entities probably have a better understanding of the fact that they're waiting for those chances to talk to us. And even
what do you
when
think
you
about
like
the 3 days of light? Do you think they're going to show up there?
Dude, I'm like I said, man, like I would not be surprised if some trippy stuff happens. Like I can't like say what exactly is going to happen, but we'll see, man. We'll see. And
me and Skull have been talking about this, that we have a feeling, I don't know, this weird feeling
space
that
dolphins, man. Space
something's
dolphins
going to happen. The space dolphins are going to show up and land in that lake right next to us.
That's right.
We are space dolphins. That's right.
Spoiler.
Jericho is a space dolphin.
Spoiler.
We are space dolphins.
Yeah, what I was just going to say, because, like, the topic of DMT does come up on the show, but I think it's super important. I think it's such a super key thing. But, like, when I think about DMT experiences, like, what I was saying is that, like, these other entities, like, they're like, in some ways more conscious of we are, and they understand that they have this chance to talk to us, and it's through experiences such as DMT, but not limited to, and again, I'm not encouraging drug application, like, meditate, but through these experiences, when our pineal glands open, when, like, that gateway is opened up, like, they see that as an opportunity to come through and communicate with us. And if you look at DMT reports, like, that's what you hear. Oh, is my mic exploding?
It is. It's totally exploding.
Yeah.
It does this every show.
Oh, shit. Wiggle it.
Wiggle it. This is a super. Is it wiggle? Is it better?
Wiggle your mic.
Wiggle it. Is it? Because I got. Okay. Anyways, can you hear me at
Still
all?
buzzing really loud now.
Okay, hold on. I think I got a quick way to. Okay.
For some reason, I was still listening to what he was saying.
I can still hear what he was saying. I didn't want to interrupt him because
All I'm saying is that like through experiences when our pineal glands open, these other feelings are like just waiting.
It does this every time without fail. It's horrible.
I know. That's why we're going to give him our microphone.
Can you
devil?
Can you hear me? Yes. Oh my God.
I can bite the bullet and answer, like, if you need to mess with, like, go back to, like, your DAC or something or plug or unplug. Like, I can try to do, like, questions from, if people want to type up.
Hold on. Can you guys hear me at all?
Perfect.
Yes, we can hear you now. You're clear.
Yeah, okay. Like, we only got a couple minutes left in the show. All I'm saying, what I was trying to say before my mic crapped out, because it does that every episode, is that these beings are on the other side, and they're, like, waiting to come through and talk to us. And these can even be through moments such as dreaming, moments through deep meditative states, or through, again, psychedelic experiences such as DMT. When our pineal gland is open, this gateway is open, and they can, like, meet us halfway, and they have, like, so much wisdom and, like, stuff to teach us. And we are them, is the message, right? Like, they're just another fraction of us trying to remind us of, like, who we actually are. So, yeah, that's basically all I had to say. But I think we only got... we've got 90 seconds left in the show. Let me just say, guys, for everyone who's been tuning in, join us on Facebook at facebook.com/ParadigmShiftRadio. Go to ParadigmShiftCentral.com, as well as the Facebook links off there, and join us for the coverage that we have coming up for the 3 Days of Light event, and join the Facebook.com/SpiritScience.
And add our Skype conversation.
Sorry?
Add me on Skype and add Skype conversation.
And add Jen, and she'll post the links in the live chat.
HorseRising.com.
HorseRising.com. Add Jericho. So,
this is
all right,
Skype information.
This is where I keep it on house.
Okay, guys, three words from each of you. 3 words from each of you. Jen, 3 words, like just a small thought.
Can I go last?
Okay, Vaughn, 3 words. You only got 40
I
seconds.
love you.
There we go. Jericho.
DNA reactivation cleansing.
DNA activation cleansing. Reactivation cleansing.
Jen,
you got something?
I honor you all. I love you. Mwah.
There you go. Okay. My message, hold the light. Keep holding the light.
Ooh, so, ow.
Yes. There you go.
Molto bene.
Wiggle it.
We'll wiggling it. That's right. So we'll see you at 3 Days of Light in the next radio.
Oh, yeah.
See ya.
Yes. Love and light.
We will see you guys there.
So our paths cross again. Mwah.
There we go. All right.
Cheers.
And we're out.
A bien so.
Peace.
Yeah.
Love.